everybody, this is Lo-Fi Tarot and I am back with another timeless pick a card reading. So this pick a card reading is not going to be like any other. This is a special edition because this is a collaborative effort and I won't be working just with one reader but with 4 other amazing readers. So yeah, this is very exciting. It's my first time being involved in such a big collaborative event and I feel so excited but also a little bit nervous at the same time. And I'm actually recording this way ahead of schedule because I have other things to do and I just want to space things out so that I will have more time to redo the recording if I mess up or something like that, because I'm a type A kind of person. So yeah, so this is a collaborative pick a card reading with 4 amazing readers, arranged and initiated by the wonderful Odessa Mall, who probably most of you have known. She often put out these collaborative pick a card readings that are so unique and so interesting, and I am so proud to be able to participate in one of her collaborative events. So thank you so much, Odessa, for inviting me to be part of this collaboration. And the other 3 readers are Scarlet Serpent Tarot, Leo Guidance Time, and Damselflies. So make sure that you check all of their channels. I will put the link to their videos down below in the description box and also in the comment section, so you can watch all our videos and see how our messages play with each other. So I think I haven't mentioned what is the subject of this collaborative pick a card. So we are going to talk about 5 different aspects of the self. So Gian from Scarlet Serpent Tarot will deliver the message from your higher self. Odessa will deliver message from your divine feminine self. Damselflies will deliver message from your divine masculine side. Burku from Leo Guidance Time will deliver message from your inner child, and I myself am going to deliver message from your shadow self. So yeah, make sure that you watch all our videos to get an all-round picture of different aspect of yourself, of different aspect of your identity. Okay, so I guess I have said everything I need to say about the collaboration. Again, I'm so excited about this. I really thank Odessa and all the other readers for welcoming me into this collaborative event. And I cannot wait to see how my message will align with the message delivered by all of you. So yeah, like I said, I am going to deliver messages from your shadow self, and we are going to do this in a playful Q&A manner, in which we will have like interview session with your shadow self. We are going to ask casual questions like who you truly are and where you come from, like where you originate, what do you love, what do you hate, what do you fear, and what your shadow self needs from you. So those kind of questions. So this is going to be like a fun, exciting chit chat with your shadow self. Now, before we begin, I just want to give you a brief definition of shadow self in my interpretation. So I think shadow self is actually a part of us as a human being that is completely natural and actually harmless, but because it is condemned as bad or shameful or inappropriate by maybe our religious belief, by our family tradition, or by the community where we live, we kind of suppress that part of us because we think that they are kind of forbidden when they are actually just neutral and a natural part of us as a human being. And a perfect example of a shadow self is like Jekyll and Hyde. Like if you have read the novel by Robert Louis Stevenson, Dr. Jekyll is this very respectable, intelligent, aristocratic man who is expected to behave in a certain way according to his class, but because of that he has to suppress a wilder side of himself. And so because he is tormented, because he cannot let this shadow self out as Dr. Jekyll, he separates that shadow self into Mr. Hyde. So he create kind of another entity, another human being, where he can let his shadow self run amok. And if you read the novel, Mr. Hyde is actually described as having some kind of a childlike air about him, even though he is seen as disgusting, he is seen as maybe brutal and cruel, but at the same time he is also childlike. So this is very interesting, and this may tie with the inner child reading, which will be covered by Burku from Leo Guidance Time. And another example of shadow self is Maylin in Turning Red. So Maylin is a teenage girl, and as a teenage girl she starts to develop likings for boys, and she likes boy bands. She likes to do crazy stuff with her friends and fantasize about boys, and these things are seen by her mother as inappropriate, when actually it's just a natural part of her growing process into a womanhood. So she had to suppress that wilder, playful side of her to appease her mother. And every time she feels frustrated, every time she feels angry because she cannot let that playful side of her out, she turns into a red panda. And we also learn in the movie that the more you suppress your red panda or your shadow self, the more they fester within us, the more it becomes dark and dangerous, like Mei Mei's mother's red panda in the movie, because she tried to be a perfect daughter to Mei Mei's grandmother, so she denied that part of herself. She suppressed that part of herself to the point that it exploded into something that is actually destructive. And Mei Mei is kind of more balanced because she has two worlds, her family and her friends help her to see that her shadow self is actually funny and crazy and playful. And Mei Mei's father also told her that people have different sides to them, and the side of her that she kept suppressed in the shadow is actually wild and funny and witty. So yeah, so if you try to suppress your anger, your frustration, your desire, your longing, your grief, and not letting it out in healthy and balanced manner, those can become dark and dangerous. Like for example, Wanda Maximoff, because of her grief, because she lost everyone dear to her, as she is supposed to protect the world, she has to put everybody else before herself. And when things have become settled, she got angry at the world because she has been robbed of everything and everyone she holds dear, and so she turned into darkness and become the Scarlet Witch, because for once she wants to manifest her personal desire, which is to have her kids and her own family. So that's my definition of shadow self. It runs longer than I expected. So we are going to see what your shadow self have to say. So we have 3 piles here as usual. This is pile number 1, 2, and 3. So if you want to train your intuition, please choose the pile that you feel most drawn to without any object, or you can also choose the number that you are drawn to. If you always pull to choose a certain number, you can also pick more than one pile if you like. And if you still need something to help you choose, I actually have this hand-drawn symbol, and this is inspired by BTS. If you don't know BTS, it's a super group from Korea, and they have a song called Blood, Sweat, and Tears, and the song actually talk about that side of us that we are too shameful to acknowledge, like our sensual desires or our vices, our sexuality, and maybe others like frustration and anger and stuff. So that fits really perfectly with the topic that I'm going to talk about today. So that's why I use their song title as part of this pick a card reading. So for pile number 1, we have blood. For pile number 2, we have sweat. And for pile number 3, we have tears. So pick the symbol that you, or rather your shadow self, feels drawn to get the message that resonates with you or with your shadow self. And as usual, the timestamp will be in the description box below and in the comment section. And I have also put the link to all the other channels' videos, so make sure you check them out so that you can get an all-round picture of your true self. Okay, so yeah, let's begin the reading, and I will start with pile number 1. Hello, pile number 1. So if your shadow self is drawn to the first pile, or this hand-drawn symbol of a drip of blood right here, so this is funny because actually Damsel of Light suggested that we call this collaboration about 5 aspects of the self a selfie collab to make it cute, but I think I end up making it a little bit scary. Because well, I'm talking about shadow self, so there is bound to be a little bit of darkness. But anyway, if you are drawn to the blood, right, the drip of blood right here, so like I said in the intro, I used the title of supergroup BTS song Blood and Sweat and Tears as part of the pick a pile, because I feel like that song fits very well with the shadow self concept. This is going to be the answer from your shadow self to the questions that I have for them. Now I have pre-shuffle and pre-pull some oracle cards in advance in order to answer as an answer from your shadow self to some question that I asked them. But since I don't have enough dark oracle decks for shadow work, we are going to have to answer some of the other questions that I still have for your shadow self by shuffling live. Okay, so okay, let's start. So the first question that I ask your shadow self is who you are, or actually I asked them what's your name, and I use the Magic of You oracle deck because it has it has a label or name on each card. So I use this oracle deck to represent the answer from your shadow self as to who they are or what's their name. Okay, and this card will be about where they come from. So where how your shadow self come to be, like from what event or from what point in their life they come from. Okay, because if you miss the intro, I suggest you to watch the intro because I explain a little bit about shadow self there and how they come to be. Okay, this card right here is from the Witch Oracle, and this will tell you what your shadow self need from you. Okay, so as an interviewer, like mock interviewer, I ask them, why do you come here to this reading? What do you need from pile number 1? And this is their answer. Okay, and the fourth question is about what they like the most, their hobby. Your shadow self's hobby. Okay, so I try to make this as cute as possible. This is your shadow self hobby. And the last card, which I just shuffled this afternoon, so I record this separate on separate day from the intro. This is going to answer your shadow self longing or dream, their biggest dream. Okay, so yeah, let's start with your shadow self name or their identity, how they see themselves, who they are. Okay, we have Euphoria, number 9, honor yourself. Wow. So your shadow self, it's the part of you that is actually magical, but it has turned kind of bitter, because this card reminds me of Medusa, right? I don't know, I'm not familiar with Medusa's background story, but I think she had some lovers, or was she betrayed by her lover? Let me check the Google for just a little bit. Okay, I just checked out the Wikipedia. This is embarrassing. And Medusa actually was originally a beautiful maiden, but she had an affair with Poseidon or Neptune. And then I thought Minerva was Poseidon's wife, but no. So she had intimacy with Poseidon in Minerva or Athena's temple, and Athena punished Medusa by transforming her beautiful hair into horrible snakes. So yeah, your shadow self is actually quite, I would say, quite flirty. It's like that part of you that actually has great power and magic. It's like you can perhaps enchant people, because Medusa can change people into stone if they look into her eyes. So you are actually a very your shadow self is actually a sensual, flirty, very feminine, a very charming and enchanting personality. But I don't know, maybe there is an event in your life, or there is a tradition or a belief that you adopt that force you to suppress that wilder side of yours. And in the mildest form, this reminds me of Mei Lin Lee in Turning Red. I know I used this movie like 1,000 times as an example, so I hope you bear with me. But Mei Lin used to be this straight A goody student, and she obeyed her parents, and but because she has turned into a teenager and she start to like boys, she start to fantasize about boys, and she also like this boy band, and she likes as she said to her mother when they had an argument, she said, I like boys, I like loud music, I like gyrating. So yeah, that's what your shadow self is. But maybe because of influence from your parents since you were a child, or maybe because of convention, you are forced to like suppress this wild, sexy, magical part of yours. And euphoria is like a state of great ecstatic joy, and like there is nothing wrong with that. Like in Turning Red, Mei Lin's euphoria is attending concert of her favorite boy band with her friends, with her best friends, fantasizing about boys, drawing about boys. But her mother saw that as something that needs to be stopped, like something dangerous. So yeah, it's like your shadow self is bitter because actually it's a natural part of you that can become really magical if you bring it to light. But because she is forced to hide in the dark, well, she becomes like Medusa. She becomes like maybe jealous. But actually your shadow self is just that wild, messy side of yours that wants to have fun. It's like this song called Girls Just Wanna Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper comes to mind. But anyway, let's continue. I'm going to read from the guidebook actually about this one. So the second question is where they come from, how your shadow self become shadow self, you know. Yes, desire. Your desire is being denied. You know, as a human, we have carnal desires, right? We have primal desires, especially about sex and sensuality and intimacy. We long for physical and spiritual intimacy with others. We long for love that maybe we were not given when we were younger, or maybe love that we lack in our life because people love us. Maybe people love you conditionally, pile number one, and your shadow self is starving of this love that will also accept them. So they long for people in your life to also accept and acknowledge them. The thing is that maybe to some extent you don't love them as well because you believe what other people said about your shadow self, that it's dangerous, that it's sinful. And I remember this I come from Indonesia, and there is an Indonesian movie in Netflix called The Red Point of Marriage, and it's about this couple who had a crisis in their marriage, and then this the husband had this female college, and this female college is like a place for him to like a place of comfort for him. Like they didn't do anything, the husband didn't cheat, but it's like it's easier for the husband to talk with this woman, this other woman, because this other woman doesn't judge, and this woman is attracted to the husband, but the husband actually still loves the wife, but because of the clash of opinion, they cannot see eye to eye, and the husband become really frustrated, and the wife accused him of having an affair with this other woman. And my point is that your shadow self feels like that other woman. It's like love, wanting to love someone and being loved back is what all of us desire. And maybe sometimes if we love other people's let me put a disclaimer. I'm not saying that you should honor your shadow self by stealing other people's significant other. No, I'm just saying that the desire itself, it's not wrong, but we need to find a better way so that desire for love can be channeled in a way that is not destructive to our life and the lives of others. So we need to acknowledge that love. We need to acknowledge that, yes, I love this guy, but because they already, I love this guy or I love this girl, but because they already have someone they love, I decide that I will honor my right to love, to have intimacy with someone who also desire me, something like that. Okay, so The next question is, hang on, I need to see my notes. The next question is what your shadow self needs. Chalice. This reminds me of the Ace of Cups. So I don't know, maybe for some of you, when you are frustrated, when your shadow self feel neglected, feel unloved, feel unable to channel their sexual desire, you turn to, actually what you need is actually self-love. Like if you cannot get that love from somebody else that you like, for example, if that somebody already has somebody else, you probably turn to alcoholism. Like in the darkest form, you turn to alcoholism, you turn to drugs, you turn to I don't know, vices, but vices actually only become vices if you don't acknowledge your desire and try to make space or make room for it. Some of you probably please yourself, and that's okay. That's okay. Like it's better to please yourself, like to touch yourself when you feel like this need to let out your libidos. It's okay to touch yourself rather than looking for love in the wrong places, right? So yeah, this is what your shadow self need. They need to be loved, they need to be acknowledged, they need you to, maybe some of you like you like someone who already has a significant other, who is already committed to someone else, and you kind of berate yourself, you condemn yourself, you blame yourself as a bad or evil person, when actually the love itself is pure. What is wrong is when you take action on it in a way that harm others. So your shadow self kind of pleads you here to acknowledge that loving someone is actually not wrong. The desire, the love itself is not wrong. What is wrong is when you try to channel that desire in the extreme way by trying to have it your way without considering other people. So your shadow self pleads you to see that actually what they need is love. And this song comes to me, what the world needs now is love. Yeah, I mean, some people who commit crimes and, I don't know, commit some really abominable things, they are actually people who are never loved in their life. And so they take it out on others. They take out their anger on others, just like Medusa. So your shadow self wants you to look at them, to see how they are hungry of love, how they need this Ace of Cups, this chalice, this sweet, sweet love, this kindness. I think you also need to watch WandaVision and Doctor Strange Multiverse, because Wanda Maximoff, she has gone through a lot of grief in her life because everybody she loved was taken away from her through no fault of her own, and she had to bear the consequences. And one day she just exploded, and she actually took hostage of a whole town to create her own fantasy world in which she had a husband, the love of her life, and he had kids with him. And eventually she come around and she took back her magic. But then she realized that she is actually a witch, and she sought this book called The Darkhold, which is like the dark magic, and she becomes Scarlet Witch, and she forget who she was, and she becomes really obsessed with finding the kids that she had created in her fantasy world in another universe, and she was determined to find her kids in other reality, that she just messed up the whole universes and murder innocent people. And this is a spoiler, okay? I'm going to count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, spoiler to Doctor Strange Multiverse. Eventually, Scarlet Witch found her kids, who was brought up by another Wanda Maximoff in another alternate reality. And the kids actually were frightened of her because their mom in that reality is not Scarlet Witch, is Wanda Maximoff. And eventually Scarlet Witch realized that her way of getting love, of robbing the love that she needs from other people, at innocent people, is wrong. And it actually backfires because her kids were afraid of her. And so the alternate Wanda Maximoff actually come to Scarlet Witch and say to her, don't worry, your kids will be loved. And then Scarlet Witch comes around and she destroyed the Darkhold. So yeah, that's what your shadow self is feeling right now. See, they just want to be loved. They just want their sexy, sensual, wild, flirty self to be acknowledged. Like maybe some of you are prohibited from wearing clothes that show your figure, that flatters your figure. Maybe some of you are not allowed to, maybe when you were a teenager, you were forbidden from attending the concert of your favorite boy band, like Mei. And so, in the movie Turning Red, Mei eventually, she realized that her red panda just needs some fun, harmless fun. Like attending a concert is a harmless fun as long as we are responsible, right? So she choose to keep her red panda, her shadow self, instead of ostracizing her red panda. Instead of ostracizing her shadow self, her wild, messy, teenagey self, and decide to go to the concert. And as a result, her red panda becomes her red panda, because she gives her red panda a space to have fun. She managed to control it. She managed to control it and to balance it with her sensible self, with her intelligent, mindful self. Okay, so that's what your shadow self needs. Wow, we haven't even asked all the questions, but there is already so many messages here. So this card is going to answer what your shadow self love. It's like their hobby, traveling. So yes, this traveling does not need to be like actual travel, though for maybe a lot of you it may be. Like perhaps some of you, because of family commitment, responsibility, you feel like you cannot travel. I hear that some of you are often criticized as a child, and you are probably like, your parents always mollycoddle you, right? So you want to travel alone, but it's like you are afraid. Your shadow self want to have some adventure, want to have some fun, wandering by yourself to maybe another country for a vacation. But because you have been mollycoddled all your life and controlled by your parents and stuff, or maybe you have always been told to be responsible, to put your family first, to put your job first. You never take your leaves. You never take your leave rights. You never go for a vacation yourself. And if you go for a vacation, it's always a family vacation because your family wants to tag along. And your shadow self hates that. Your shadow self just wants some time for themselves, to have fun. It doesn't have to be a in terms of sexuality or sensuality. It can also be like just having fun all by yourself without any other people tagging along and ruining your fun. So your shadow self loves to travel. They need some travel by themselves. They need that spontaneous adventure, like booking ticket on a whim and going to a city that you love. Like, imagine all the excitement, you know? And oh, I flipped the card before I asked the question. This is the dream, the biggest dream of your shadow self, and we have happiness. Your shadow self wants someone to love, someone they can travel with, someone who share the same interests, someone with whom they can have fun, with whom they can truly live their life. Wow, okay. So I'm just going to read briefly from this card over here before we ask further question from your shadow self. But I think this question actually already tell you quite a lot about your shadow self. It's like your shadow self, they just want to get straight to the point with euphoria here. Yeah, they want euphoria. They just want to have some fun. So I'm going to list a few songs for your pile. Wow, and it's 11:11 on my clock. Can you imagine that? Wow, crazy. 11:11. So I hope your shadow self dream to have your euphoria can come true. Okay, claim it. Claim it in the comments. Anyway, for pile number 1, I'm going to list your song. So the first song is Girls Just Wanna Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper. Have fun, Cyndi Lauper. And then Euphoria by Jungkook from BTS. And then the movie, I strongly recommend Turning Red. It's actually a recommended movie for all the piles today because it talks a lot about shadow self and how destructive it can be if you don't deal with it, if you keep suppressing it, if you don't give room for it. Okay, so let me just read this. Euphoria. Your shadow self just want a soulmate. Like, yeah, Medusa and Poseidon, like they just want to let that desire out. That I don't know if it's even love. They just want to let the desire out, but they let it out in the wrong place. It's like having intimacy in the office and got caught by your boss. So yeah, be careful about that. I wonder if blood has. Wow, this to me, yeah, and we just talk about Turning Red, and blood is like, yeah, it can be connected to sex as well, you know, like when if you are virgin, like, and you have it for the first time, you will have some bleeding, and also menstruation. So if you are a teenager like Maylin, and actually there was menstruation was mentioned in that movie as a blooming peony. Red peony, sorry, not blooming peony. So yeah, go watch that movie, you will understand. Euphoria. So let's see, Euphoria. Honor yourself. The white goddess with the feathered snake or swan countenance represents the sacred fusion of air and earth, divine inspiration bonded with earthly tangibility. Yeah, so divine and your spiritual self and your physical self. So as a human being, we are born with carnal desires. It's just a natural part of us. It's not evil. It's because we are residing in this human body, we have sexual desires, we have sexual needs, just the same like we need air, we need food. It's just like that. It's just one of our needs. That's why we have, oh yeah, this also reminds me of the root chakra. Is that the chakra of sexuality? No, I think that's the chakra above it, sacral. Yeah. But anyway, yeah, it's like your shadow self wants you to balance your spirituality and your humanity. um, Maybe some of you like, oh yeah, I remember the movie Carrie. Another movie recommendation. So I'm sorry if I'm all over the place here, but I hope you follow me. So Carrie is a movie adapted from a novel by Stephen King. And Carrie is about a teenage girl who was bullied in her class because she is a clumsy, she is weird. And it's not her fault because her mother is like this very scary religious fanatic. And when she never told Carrie about what menstruation is, and she called her breasts dirty pillows. And so when Carrie had her first menstruation in the school's shower room, she thought she was bleeding to death. And when she came home, her mother actually told her to confess her sin to the Lord because she has become a woman. Oh my God. So maybe a select few of you are like that. It's like expressing your sensuality, expressing your sexuality, like even wearing, liking boys, dating boys even, or even just attending a boy band concert is forbidden. It's like it's being frowned upon, you know. So your shadow self just wants you to balance that, the spirituality, like some religious beliefs actually propagate this notion that if you are spiritual, if you are a divine being, then you cannot have carnal thoughts. But that's impossible because we are all humans, right? So we are divine being. We are created after the image of God, but we also have human body. And so we have desires. We have carnal desires. We can like people. We can love people, like romantic love. So your shadow self wants you to like accept that part of yours. So it doesn't mean that just because you like boys or girls, or because you are gay, or because you are lesbian, you are not spiritual. That's not true. Okay? It's not true that if you are gay or lesbian, or if you are flirty or something, you are not spiritual. It's not true. Like, it depends. It's like a gray area, okay? So your shadow self wants you to be aware of that. There is a sensual aspect, see, to this card. It is now your duty to honor your physical self in an exalted way. Was that what I just talked about? What was that? What everything I just ramble about? Have you been abusing your body? Poor eating, excesses of toxic substances. Yeah, because you, some of you, because you cannot have love, you compensate by drinking. Because you just want to have this sense of euphoria. Some of you probably do drugs even, because you just want to be happy, and you become addicted to it. And that's what happens when you don't acknowledge your shadow self. It doesn't make you more spiritual. It actually makes it actually destroy you, because you don't acknowledge your own body's needs. Okay? Poor eating, excesses of toxic substances, and dragging yourself through workouts you don't enjoy is punishing, not celebrating yourself. Yeah, like Carrie. Carrie was forced to deny her desire as a teenage girl. Like her mother prohibit her from going to the prom, from liking boys, from maybe having relationship with boys. And that is abuse. That is abuse, okay? Don't put anything in your body that is not worthy of your goddess status. Quality over quantity is key at this time. Awaken to your sacred self. Be selective about who you allow physical proximity to you. In matters of sex and sensuality, do not share your sacred self with someone who is not worthy of you or who does not treat you in an honorable and respectful way. Yes, there is another message here. So because maybe you are there is a circumstances, internal or external, that prevent you or limit you from finding true love, you have sex with prostitutes or with boy toys or with F-boy and F-girl because you just want love but you cannot get it. And that's probably because you don't love yourself in the first place. It's like you believe what other people told you about yourself, that you are too flirty, that you are dirty, that you are promiscuous. And because you are being told that you are promiscuous, you actually compensate by becoming promiscuous because you think that people don't believe me, why should I become a good person? Something like that. So give love to your shadow self. Give love to your shadow self and tell your shadow self, I am going to find somebody who will love all of us, our entirety. Okay? The woman of euphoria holds her hands gently and seductively over her heart desire as she considers the blessed magnificence of her reality. She is quiet and reflective. This is a deep inner comprehension not bound by society's laws, see, and others' opinion. Inside, she is infinite, and her physical form is the gateway. Yeah, so your desire is self. It's not wrong. It's just part of us being in this human form. We have a body, and our body needs love, need to be taken care of. And one of a way of taking care of your body is having a healthy sex life. Like if you have intimacy with someone that you bond with in a spiritual manner, so this is also what it means to balance your spirituality and your human desires. It's like when you have intimacy with someone who doesn't love you and just here for the sex, it won't be like a fraction of the happiness and euphoria that you will get when you have that intimacy with someone who loves you inside out, who truly love you kind of unconditionally or almost unconditionally. So yeah. And traveling is good for you. Traveling is good for your mind, body, and soul, because it doesn't mean that we need to take care of our body primarily through sex. We can take care of our body by loving ourselves, by giving our mind, body, and soul time to rest, time to have a vacation by ourselves, time to give yourself time to play. Okay, give yourself time to play, to become a child again, to remember how wonderful it is when you are a child and you are allowed to do everything that you love doing. So yeah, that's also another thing that your shadow self needs. Actually, it's your inner goddess, if I want to be honest, not your shadow self. So let's ask some more questions before we get into the messages. Okay, what other? Okay, what do you dislike? What do you hate? So, because I don't have many oracle decks for this kind of shadow reading, I have to use tarot. So, pile number 1, shadow self, Euphoria. I will just call her Euphoria. Hi, Euphoria. I don't know if this is the goddess Aphrodite. So maybe that's the message from the goddess Aphrodite as well. as well as from your shadow self. Euphoria. Please tell us what you dislike. What you dislike. Pile number 1, shadow self, Euphoria. Please tap me into Euphoria's energy. What you don't like the most in this world, Euphoria? What you hate the most in this world? I think we can already guess from the answer that she gave in this card, but let's see. What do you hate the most? Right. Knight of Swords. To me, this is like self-punishment, discipline. King of Wands. Okay, that is unexpected. So this is what they dislike the most. I'm going to arrange this card. Okay. So this card didn't jump out, but it's like sort of sticking out, almost falling. King of Wands. So maybe especially considering that this is like your inner goddess, your shadow self doesn't like people who are domineering, who are ambitious. Like King of Wands can be full of passion. Like your shadow self is full of passion as well. Desire. We have desire. We have this chalice, which is to me like an ace of cups. And we have travel, happiness. There are a lot of movements, a lot of action. And I think your shadow self is actually quite charming and flirty, and those are the qualities that King of Wands actually have. So this is surprising. I think maybe you have a bad experience with the King of Wands, whether it's an ex-lover or a family member, like a father maybe. So I think this is the shadow quality of the King of Wands that you dislike. That your shadow self dislike. It's like fire sign can be really bossy and domineering when they are in their shadow attributes. And wow, and look at that, we have blood. So maybe you live with the person who drain you, like they will always want to have, they don't honor you. So if you remember from the guidebook here, it says, do not desecrate your body, because your body is sacred. It's the vessel of your spirit. Do not have intimacy with people who cannot appreciate you. Where is it again? Be selective about who you allow in physical proximity. In matters of sex and sensuality, do not share your sacred self with someone who is not worthy of you or who does not treat you in an honorable and respectful way. Yes. So this person, King of Wands, or maybe anybody embodying this shadow energy of the King of Wands, they don't respect your inner goddess. They like to have things their way, and when it comes to intimacy, they want things their way. They force things, and they don't wait for you. They don't ask what you like, what you dislike. There is no communication. It's like they just bulldoze anything or anyone that stand between them and where they want to be. And also we have the Knight of Swords. And Knight of Swords is brutal honesty usually, but to me this Knight of Swords is like, it's almost like they are punishing themselves. And sword is like belief, opinion, words. So maybe there are some cruel words people say to you, and you kind of internalize that as your truth. Maybe you have a relationship with this King of Wands, and it didn't go well. It got you into trouble, and you kind of punish yourself as a result. It's like, I deserve this, and I don't want to love anymore. it's like it's you, yourself, your conscious self, because sword is about the conscious, right? The realm of the conscious, the mind. So in your mind, you think, okay, I don't want to be subjected to slavery, or become a sex slave to this King of Wands figure again, or this King of Wands energy. So I'm just going to be to abstain from any relationship. It's like you're punishing yourself. But your inner goddess is saying, it's not your fault. It's not your fault. And there is love for you out there. Wait, what is it? This is an answer to their question, not wow, and 11:33 in my clock now. This is oh, your dream. Yeah, your dream. It's happiness. Okay, so that's what your shadow self dislike. What your shadow self fear. What your shadow self fear. I think this King of Wands is also very controlling. Like, when you have intimacy with them, they have to be the one in charge. They have all the say about how this intimacy, the intimacy should go, how the sex should go, and you don't like it. Maybe this King of Wands, maybe some of you have had relationship with people who are brutal in intimacy, like they are BDSM or something like that. And you want to be free. You just want to be free. You want something more than... It's like what you desire is not just physical desire, but actually love, spiritual love. Because when the love is spiritual, when the love is true and real and pure, the intimacy will not be scary. It will not be something that is tormenting. It will not be something that is disgusting, but it will be something beautiful, euphoric. You can only have euphoric intimacy with people who love you with all their mind, body, and soul. So that's how. That's why in this book, it says, what is it? Your divine. It's like your spiritual and your physical self are inseparable. You cannot just deny your sexuality or your sensuality, but you cannot also deny soul or spiritual connection between two people. So these two have to be in harmony and have to be together. They both have to be acknowledged, okay? Oh, I remember another movie called not When Harry Met Sally. That's also talking about how women cannot be friends with men because sex get in the way, something like that. And there is also this movie starring I forgot, but actually there is this movie, an old movie, 90s movie, where the guy believed that one can get married without having intimacy. So that's denying sensual or sexual desire, and that is not possible. That is not possible. It's not possible to be spiritually connected, like when two people who are in love become spiritually connected. It's like intimacy is a part of it as well. Physical intimacy is a part of it as well. But when you have physical intimacy without spiritual or soul bond or connection, that physical intimacy will not be fulfilling. So both of them have to be present at the same time. Okay, what is it? Sacred fusion of air and earth. Divine inspiration bonded with earthly tangibility. Yeah, divine connection bonded with physical tangibility. with physical action. Okay, so pile number 1, shadow self, euphoria. What do you fear? What is your greatest nightmare? What is your nightmare? So happiness is your dream. What is your nightmare? Two of Wands. Indecision. Yeah, this is like you. Did I mention something about you punishing yourself because maybe you succumbed to this King of Wands charm and ending up in like some kind of imbalanced, abusive relationship? This is you kind of telling yourself, you fool, I will not have intimacy anymore. It's like I swear off intimacy. Or maybe this is your euphoria, your shadow self telling your mind, it's like I want love. Why can't you give it to me? Because maybe you have stayed away from a relationship for quite some time, pile number 1, or you have been denying your. Sometimes with the travel and the dolphin here, if it's not about sex or intimacy or romantic relationship, it can also be that you put you put others before yourself. You put work, you put responsibility before your own needs. And with the Two of Wands here, it's like your euphoria is telling you, I want out of this situation, but it's like you are not listening. What's at the bottom of the deck? Yeah, that. It's like you have to deal with this, pile number 1. You have to have a heart-to-heart talk with your shadow self. Like, I don't know, maybe you can write a letter for them, or you can do automatic writing, or you can like watch movie or read books that like try to listen to your shadow self. Ask them, like, every time you feel this longing, desire, the part of you that you always suppress down, whenever they come up, give them the chance to come up and tell you what they need. Okay? Indecision. It's like almost like your euphoria is afraid that every time your mind comes into play, they get suppressed again. It's like say you don't have a partner and suddenly you want to please yourself, you want to touch yourself, and then your mind say, hey, that is like if you subscribe to a certain religion, that is something dirty. Or you feel this desire, or you feel attracted to same sex, to people from the same sex, and your mind starts telling you, hey, that's a sin. That is like, if you like people from the same sex, if you have relationship with people of the same sex, you will be punished, something like that. And that means you have to transform that old belief, this outdated belief with the skull here. That outdated belief is the one that makes you feel dead inside, and you have to let that part of yourself die, that part of you that believes in outdated tradition or belief die, and start listening to your inner goddess, start listening to your intuition, start listening to the spiritual part of you, because your spirit actually tells you what you need through your body. So have a talk with your body, with your shadow self, and listen to what they say, as hard as it may be. Acknowledge them and try to transform and become this inner goddess. This is not saying to let your sexuality run amok or something, or you become like promiscuous or something. This is just you transforming into the new you, okay? Six of Cups, yeah. I think your childhood has been very drab. It's like you are not supposed to wear something too revealing. Maybe you have to, your church is very orthodox, your parents are very utilitarian. Yeah, that's why Six of Cups is supposed to be a very bright card, but in this deck it's very dark. So you may have a dark childhood. Maybe you have a very domineering father, and this may be triggering. Trigger warning, 3, 2, 1. Some of you are probably abused by a member of your family, like an uncle or something. But yeah, there is hope for you. Look at that, Death and Judgment. So you are being called to confront this now for the sake of your shadow self, so that your shadow self can be brought to light and exist in harmony with your higher self, okay? With your inner self. Yeah, you have been living in fear and loneliness. Wow, okay. So let's get to the message. So let's ask the spirit. I'm going to read a guidebook for this one also. Let's hear it from the spirit. Spirit, what can you give an advice for pile number 1 as to how they can give their shadow self what they need? How they can heal or brought their shadow self to light? Any message for pile number 1 about their shadow self, spirit? So for pile number 1, spirit, for pile number 1, any advice on how to deal with their shadow self? Any advice on how to deal with their shadow self? Thank you. Empowerment, yes, it fits. When you ask the divine to take over, you get pulled into your own authentic power. It is a force of inner love that wants your wholeness and magnificence. Unfold my true and radiant self, dear Lord. Yes, this is the correct message. So, ask, I don't know what you believe. Ask God, ask your angels, ask the universe, the spirit, your spirit guide, your ancestor, to help you in this matter, to converse with your shadow self, to talk with your euphoria, to ask the spirit guides to help you to realize that your shadow self is actually beautiful, magnetic. It's like Medusa before she was cursed. Like, you did, Medusa did something wrong and she got cursed. But actually, her desire itself, it's not harmful. What is harmful is because she take action at the wrong place in the wrong time. So, the spirit, your spirit guide wants you to ask their help to shine a light towards your shadow self, towards euphoria, because she has been they have been suppressed too long in the shadow, that they start to grow these snakes. These snakes are like temptation. Maybe you get maybe because of your stress, sexual frustration, or I don't know, anything, because you suppress your desire, your longing, because you punish yourself. Sometimes you compensate because your body kind of needs you to do something about this. So you drink, so you take drugs, But if you ask spirit for help, if you ask the universe for help, they are going to help you shine, to give you this, show you what your shadow self needs and who your shadow self actually are. Your shadow self is actually a part of you that wants happiness. That's why they are called euphoria. And if you accommodate their needs by whenever they want to play, whenever they want to travel, whenever they want to have fun, like harmless fun, you indulge them, and you let your mind take a back seat when they want to have some harmless fun. Like, don't think about job, don't think about responsibilities, don't think about work all the time. You need play. You need to indulge yourself. You need some self-love. Like, if it's not a relationship, then self-love is enough. Because we consist of divine masculine and feminine, right? We are complete. There are a lot of people who are single all their life, but they are happy because they honor their divine feminine and their divine masculine. And this is saying it's a force of inner love. Your shadow self wants to love someone, wants to have a healthy relationship with someone, wants to have a soulful connection with someone. You know, this reminds me of these dolphins in Thor, Love and Thunder. So yeah, Thor, Love and Thunder. Just want to, just because maybe there is a message for you there. Yeah, wholeness and magnificence. When you acknowledge your shadow self, bring them to light, show them love, give them what they need that you have denied from them for a long time, you become more balanced, you become whole. That's why some single people who acknowledge their shadow self, acknowledge their childlike part of them, playful, flirty side of them, they are happier than people who have relationship, but they suppress their feminine, their childlike self, and allow other people to control them. So unfold my true and radiant self. Your true and radiant self is the fusion between your spiritual, between your spirit and your body. Okay. The bottom of the deck we have solitude. So I think this fits with the travel. Once you embrace the inner divine, which is like working together with your higher self, with your spirit, to shed a light to your shadow self and your own sacred solitude, the right people arrive at the right time, exactly on schedule, without forcing or chasing. Yeah, exactly. So if you not look down on yourself, if you acknowledge yourself as magnetic, as pretty, if you take care of yourself, you will draw the right kind of soulmate into your life, because you know yourself inside out. You already acknowledge and love your shadow self. You integrate your shadow self with your higher self, and you become whole. And when you become whole, people who will come into your life are people who will love you for all you are, your shadow and your light side. Okay? Wow. This is already 1 hour long. I'm sorry, but let's draw one last messages from the Work Your Light Oracle. Okay, let's see. Final messages for pile number 1 regarding their shadow self. Ooh, that was fast. Answer the call. What is your call calling you to do? Yeah. So your spirit is actually calling your attention now. You have been neglecting your quote-unquote shadow self for too long. They call you for an adventure, to travel somewhere. So for some of you, if you are not resonating with the message of intimacy or relationship, romantic relationship or sexuality or love, this is about self-love. It is about acknowledging your soul's desire. And your soul's desire is this happiness. It actually only becomes shadow, become this Medusa, because it is back into its corner. Your shadow self is being cornered. Actually, it's not your shadow self at all. It's part of you as a soul. But it's being cornered. And now they are being called to go out and play. Answer the call. What is your soul calling you to do? The initiation, rite of passage. You are going somewhere sacred. This is in line with the death card that we saw earlier. You need to transform. Some of you probably have. I remember Mei Mei in Turning Red. Her friends said she was brainwashed by her mother. So if you feel like you have been brainwashed by anyone in your life who condemn that part of you that loves to play, loves to have fun, loves to go wild, it's time for you to undo that brainwashing. Okay? So that is the initiation. That is the long path that you have to go through. So I'm also hearing that you are being called to love yourself first before you can find your soulmate. You have to acknowledge your shadow self, make room for, I will call it your wilder self. Make room for your red panda. Okay, make room for your red panda, so that the person who loves you will also love your red panda. Okay. Okay. Any other message from the spirit for pile number 1? I know that this reading is quite long, but I need to get all of the message your shadow self wants you to know. Hidden depths. Yeah, you need to talk with them. Something hidden is about to come to light. Yes. Perhaps a secret or memory at the back of your mind. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe something I said in this reading tickles something in you, a memory in your past that you don't like. So your shadow self nightmare can also be a memory stored in your mind that makes you who you are right now. And you need to deal with that memory, because it's how your shadow self become shadowed. Actually, it's just a natural part of you. Okay, when we expose what is hidden, we can become free. Yeah. So you can take a screenshot of this if you like. And now I'm just going to read. I promise that this is the last part, okay? I know you are already tired already from this reading. I just want to... This is what your shadow self needs. The chalices. Love. Okay, chalices are filled with liquid. Liquid holds no shape and is in a constant state of change. Yeah, change. So the initiation card we saw earlier. Emotions are like water and are constantly changing from moment to moment. Emotionally, you've been sloshing around and coming very close to spilling over. Yeah, your shadow self, your desire for love is like have been suppressed for so long. It's almost like it almost spill over. You probably have emotional ups and downs because you don't acknowledge your emotion. Maybe some of you are raised in a family that where you are not supposed to cry, where you have to tough out. So if you are a guy, maybe it's like boys don't cry kind of thing. Toxic masculinity. Yeah, toxic masculinity. Emotionally, you've been sloshing around. It's time to steady yourself so that you can carry on and do all those things that need to be done. Yeah, I think this is like calming or soothing your shadow self and telling them that they are loved. Because I think they suffer from toxic masculinity. I think that's what this King of Wands is and the Knight of Swords. And actually, if I want to, I need to show you this. Actually, the Knight of Swords in this sexual magic tarot is described as this. This is BDSM. This is bondage. Look at that. This guy is domineering the girl, and the girl is like a sexual slave, and they let other people watch. So maybe, I'm sorry if this is triggering, but maybe some of you have experienced something like this before, humiliation. So now it's time for you to answer the divine call to leave the place or the mindset that is formed from this toxic masculinity, where it doesn't matter if you are male or female, and to step into this energy of love, softness, light, and playfulness, childlikeness, this your inner goddess. Okay, but yeah, that's for you, pile number 1. So I hope this help you to understand more about your shadow self. I'm sorry if this reading drags longer than I anticipated, but I hope this message resonate. And once again, don't forget to check the other channels reading the higher self, the inner child, the divine masculine, and the divine feminine. I will put the links down below in the description box, so you can go there after you are finished with this reading if you come here first. Okay, thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, my beautiful people who choose pile number 2 or who are drawn to this hand-drawn sweat emoji right here. This is going to be a message from your shadow self about themselves. So if you skip the intro, this is a collaborative pick a card reading between me and 4 amazing readers. They are Adesamo, who initiated and arranged this collaborative effort in the first place, Scarlet Serpentero, Leo Guidance Time, and Denzel Slice. So the topic of our collaboration is 5 aspects of the self. What 5 aspects of yourself have to tell you? So Odessa is delivering messages from the divine feminine side. Denzel Slice is delivering message from the divine masculine side. Scarlet Serpentero will deliver message from your higher self, and Leo Guidance Stem will deliver message from your inner child. So I hope I got those right. So I myself I'm going to deliver messages from your shadow self, and I plan to do this in a fun Q&A session in which I play the role of interviewer, asking your shadow self some question about themselves to know them better, who they are, how they came about, what they like, what they dislike, and all that stuff. So I have pre-shuffle and pre-pull some oracle cards as message from your shadow self regarding the question that I have for them, but I also have a couple of questions I haven't drawn or pre-pulled cards for. So we are going to shuffle live later with tarot to answer some of these additional questions. Okay, so yeah, let's get started. So if you don't know already, these hand-drawn symbols that I use for the pick a pile is inspired by BTS. BTS is a K-pop supergroup, if you don't know. It's inspired from their song Blood, Sweat, and Tears, because the song actually talk about the darker side of ourselves, so it fits really well with the topic that we are going to cover today. So that's why I use the song title as part of the pick a pile. Okay, so let's see what your shadow self have to say about themselves. So the first question that I ask your shadow self is, who are you? And I actually also ask how you name yourself. What's your name? I use this Magic of You Oracle deck to answer the question, because the card in the deck has names on it. So we are going to see what name your shadow self choose to represent themselves. So we have Panacea. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I'm sorry if I butcher it. And it's 23 reduced to 5. There is a solution for every problem. Interesting. So 5 is actually in tarot, in cartomancy, it's usually the number of conflict, of something rocking the boat. So it seems to me here that your shadow self feel like they are bound or tied. So If you want to know more about shadow self, I do explain a bit in the intro, so you may want to go back and listen to it if you haven't. So I think your shadow self feels bound to something. It's almost like they want to fly, they want to walk away, but there is this feeble rope that ties them in place, and actually they can escape easily, but they don't. It's giving me the Eight of Swords vibe. And we have also a snake here, so I don't know yet what the snake represent here. So maybe it's a negative thought or a pessimistic thought that makes you doubt yourself and keep you in a place that no longer serve you. And it's like your shadow self is the part of you that resists that doesn't like that. Okay, but let's see the other cards before I ramble too much about this, because pile number 1 is so long, like 1.5 hours, so I don't want to waste too much time if possible. The second question that I ask your shadow self is, where are you from? Or how your shadow self become your shadow self, you know. Let's see what this has to say. The fragile thread. Yeah, this is like the same strings that holds this this foot in place. So I sense that there is a fragile connection here, something that is about to end, but for some reason it hasn't. Like, it's like I sense a desperation of hanging onto something that is supposed to fall away or fall back from your life. It's like you put your hearts on the line. Hearts on the line, yeah. Alright, the third question I ask your shadow self is, what do you need? So here, I play the role of a shopkeeper, and this is the Witch Oracle Tarot, and this has a lot of witchy symbols, and I kind of ask your shadow self, what do you need from us? As if they were a customer. What do they need from you? Okay. So what they need is skeleton key. I'm going to read from the guidebook about this, and also for the other 2 cards. The fourth question is, what your shadow self like? Oh, they want love. They like anything. They just like love, period. They want to be surrounded by love. They are happiest when they are surrounded by love. And in this case, it's like a divine, unconditional love. And the fifth question I ask your shadow self is, what is their dream? What they want the most in this world? And guess what? It's another love card. Okay. So I'm going to read from the guidebook about this panacea, about this card that your shadow self has chosen to represent themselves. Okay, so we have panacea. There is a solution for every problem. When a situation, person, or thing appears to tie you down and hold you back, at the same time, there is the blessing of an opportunity for a solution and rebirth of the situation. The maiden on the card floats along, her feet not even touching the ground. This image conveys that day-to-day events in the grand scheme of her life are not holding her down or back. So yeah, so this is actually a feeble thread. So I'm wondering if this is about a love relationship, whether it's romantic or platonic, and you have been trying to hang in a situation where the relationship is actually at the edge. It's like it's fragile, and it's bound to end, but you still have hope for it. You still hope that it's going to work out. So let's see. The rope and the rock on one foot. Oh yeah, I just saw the rock here. Might slow her, but the snake, an ancient symbol of the goddess, on the other foot, is simultaneously rebirthing her. When panacea appears, allow a situation to transform and rebirth. In fact, expect it to. Why don't you just reach down and untie the knot yourself? It is loose. Why are you slow to relinquish this sense of being weighed down? Why are you holding back your own magnificence? When we feel circumstances are limiting us, we should consider that maybe we are fearful of change, of being all that we could be. Yeah, a very Eight of Swords energy. This card also represents the proven limitation of the patriarchal system and mindset, and how the goddess is surely rising as the snake-clad foot floats higher. So your other foot, or rather your shadow self, is eager to go already. Rise above petty squabbles and situations that would see the divine feminine suppressed. Interesting. So you should definitely check out the divine feminine reading by Odessa. Maybe it has a message there that correlates to this message. Honor the divine feminine in your life. The indigo blue flowers. Is there the indigo blue? Oh, this one. Speak of eternal wisdom. The wisdom of a child. The wisdom a child is born with and then forgets. Simplify things. Remember, you were born knowing. Let your life grow. It is time to let go of your fears and explore the next adventure. Okay. So your shadow self is that part of you that is, it's like they are being 1 foot in and 1 foot out, and it causes an emotional turmoil within them or within you. So let's read the fragile thread. The fragile thread. The fragile thread. Avoid harsh actions and words that harm your soul. Your body is sacred. What does that mean? That which is most precious is often most fragile. Interesting. We take for granted that love, health, happiness, even life itself, will always be ours for the taking. It's selfish to think this way, and time to make smart choices about our bodies and mind. The care we take in treating ourselves, the consideration we give both our friends and strangers, must reflect the fact that we cherish this life. Begin by being gentle with yourself today. Nourish and appreciate what the fragile thread dangles precariously. Our hearts, our lives. So this is definitely about a relationship for quite a few of you. Let's see what the skeleton key have to say, and then I will clarify these 3 cards with tarot to understand better what your shadow self actually mean by this card, because there may be an additional underlying meaning aside from the one that is in the guidebook. So the Witch Oracle skeleton key. Okay, the skeleton key has deep symbolism associated with it. In ancient love, the Greeks associated it with Hecate, who held the key to all magic. The Romans attributed skeleton keys to protection, as in securing the doors of the home and keeping evil from entering. Keys open locks and provide access by opening doorways, both physically as well as spiritually. They are powerful instruments for locking and unlocking doors at will, breaking barriers, finding safe passage, and breaking free. Meaning, when you are stuck in a situation without hope or ideas, yeah, definitely stuck. You are stuck. But you are not really actually stuck. It's like you can choose to leave, or you can choose to stay and fix this fragile thread. This heart is hanging precariously. When you are stuck in this situation without hope or ideas, which you seem to be at the moment, use the symbolism of the key as a way for unlocking new prospect and finding solution. Yeah, there is a solution for every problem. Your shadow self is begging you to find the solution. Hold this card up to your third eye, envision a locked door before you, then take the key and unlock the door. Okay, so now I'm going to clarify what your shadow self mean by this panacea. So for pile number 2, shadow self of pile number 2, can I call you Panacea? Please reveal, what do you mean by Panacea? What do you mean by this card? Okay, shadow self of pile number 2, Panacea, can you elaborate more on what this card means? King of Pentacles. I need one more clarifier. So it may be a relationship with this King of Pentacles, or maybe it has something to do with money. Can you clarify this King of Pentacles further? What is the problem that you need solution of? What is the problem you need solution of? What is the problem you need solution of? Shadow self of pile number 2. What problem pile number 2 is having that needs solution? Six of Swords. This was at the bottom of the deck when I draw this card. So I think from these two cards, it seems like your shadow self wants to breathe. When I saw this King of Pentacles, my first thought was responsibility. This King of Pentacles is like a lord of some kind, and they have an estate, and they need to take care of that estate. And maybe they don't have time for fun, or they are always working all the time, producing money, or trying to gain money, trying to ask the tenants to pay or something. It's like they are always manifesting things, and they never take time to breathe out, to rest their mind with the Six of Swords. They never take time to nurture themselves, to take a vacation or take a rest. I think the same message has also come up in pile number 1. I forgot, because I record pile number 1 on the other day. So I think your shadow self is frustrated, because actually this problem can be easily solved. It's just that you don't want to, you think that you have to control everything. Like Pentacles is a very dense energy, and Sword is about mind. So you have been taking action and thinking, planning, thinking, planning, struggling. That's why we have sweat. And your shadow self is like the part of you that actually it's the childlike part of you that wants to be free, wants to break free, wants to breathe once in a while. So there has been an imbalance here, and the rope here is like you are tied to responsibilities. You are tied to responsibilities when actually you don't have to be tied in the first place. Like, if you need some time for yourself to take care of yourself, you can assign that responsibility to someone else or ask someone else to help, so that you can have time for yourself to rejuvenate, to restore your energy, to recharge, or to simply just calm and soothe your mind and seek for inspiration. And I did mention, I forgot whether I mentioned Jekyll and Hyde in the intro to this pick card reading. So Dr. Jekyll is someone who is respected. It's like he is a scientist, a very reputable scientist. He is intelligent and he mingles with people of higher class. But he has this part of him that is more childlike, that wants to play, that wants to get wild, that wants to party once in a while, and he keeps suppressing it until that side of him like struggling to get out, and so he kind of separate that part of himself and find this concoction, this potion that will allow him to transform to somebody else whenever he wants to indulge in his more primal side. Whenever he wants to have fun and just be wild and just be himself. So maybe you haven't had that for quite a while, and it's like your shadow self is like Mr. Hyde to Dr. Jekyll. It's like it just wants out. So let's clarify what fragile thread means. Oh, and we have the 10 of Cups at the bottom of the deck. So you have been managing your kingdom to the point that you forget to have fun, to the point that maybe you even forget your family, and that's why we have the fragile thread. Maybe you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend or a spouse, and it's like you are always busy working, that you don't have time for them, that you don't have time to indulge in your childlike self. So I'm just going to type in on my notepad movie recommendation for you, and that is Christopher Robin. You will see why. Because Christopher Robin, because he was the only son in the family, and when his father passed away, he had to go to a boarding school, and he had to attend university and have to work and have to do all the things, say responsibilities of life. He has to he marries, have families, and he forget his childlike self. He forget that sometimes he also need to play, sometimes he have to let himself daydream or using his imagination to make himself happy, to give himself joy. And he kind of forget his childhood friends, his imaginary friends. So yeah, check out that movie. And actually in Christopher Robin, because he was always busy with his work, and it's like he needs to meet target sales every time. Like he was working in this company which requires target sales to be met, and he is responsible for that. And because he wants to meet the target, he cannot go on a vacation with his wife and child, and his relationship is with his wife is strained because of that, because Christopher Robin has become someone who like only knows work and responsibilities and kind of forget about his family and the quality time, the fun time that he is supposed to enjoy with them, because families are forever. Like in jobs, you are replaceable, you are always replaceable, but in your family cannot be replaced. So yeah, there is that kind of fragile thread here, in which your maybe your fixation on material things have caused your relationship to be strained. So let's see, what is this fragile thread? Can you clarify, Panacea? Shadow self of pile number 2. What this fragile thread actually is? What's the question again? Okay, so what this fragile thread has to do with you? I think this also means that your health is on the line. It's like you work too much without resting. Yeah, did this guidebook say something about health? About taking care of yourself? It's like you never take a vacation and you always like work and work and work and trying to accumulate as much money as possible, that you forget what truly matters in your life. And what truly matters is your health and well-being and your family. Yeah, we take for granted that love, health, happiness, even life itself will always be ours for the taking. It's selfish to think this way, and time to make smart choices about our bodies and mind. Yeah, it's like you are afraid. This gives me the vibe of a relationship hanging on the line because you are too busy with your work, or your heart, your mental state is your nerves are afraid. Okay, so okay. Shadow self of pile number 2, Panacea. Please clarify the fragile thread that makes you a shadow self. Please clarify the fragile thread. Ace of Wands and Five of Swords. This one almost slid out, but it didn't. Five of Swords is usually about conflict and petty battles, but I think here this is like, yeah, this has something to do with something that is on the line, something that is, it's like your relationship with your family now is very fragile. It's like it can break apart at any moment. I have a feeling that maybe some of you, because you are stressed out at work or because you are too busy with work, you become a bit testy, sensitive, you become snippy. Yeah, snippy. It's like when your spouse or your family or your kids ask you to stay home and play, it's like you snap at them. And we have the Ace of Wands. We have the Page of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck. Page of Pentacles is like creating magic, learning to create magic. So let me clarify this. This reminds me of when Anna asked Elsa, do you want to Do you want to build a snowman? And Elsa is like, turn it down. Yeah, in your case, it's like these are the two cards at the bottom of the deck. It's like you cannot stop, like this ballerina, you cannot stop dancing. But at what cost? Let me clarify further. Okay, Panacea, can you clarify what this Five of Swords means? Five of Swords and fragile thread. Can you clarify the Five of Swords that clarifies the fragile thread? What is at stake here? What is at stake? Stress. Yeah, that's why I said you are snippy. Bottom of the deck is the World. So maybe you... It's like this needs to come to a close, or maybe the world is all about traveling. Like you often travel, you are rarely at home. I don't know, but let's see before I ramble even further. What is the Ace of Wands, and what is the relationship with the fragile thread, please? Can we get a flipper, please? What is the relationship between the Ace of Wands and the fragile thread? We have Justice and we have the Devil. Okay. Nine of Cups, self-fulfillment, happiness. I think you have kept that childlike side of you that is full of imagination and creativity, which is what the suit of wands symbolize. Keep locked. It's like you bury this to me, like again in the movie Christopher Robin, the way, the doorway he can enter Winnie the Pooh's world. I forgot the name of the woods. It's like the woods where he used to play with Winnie the Pooh is like a secret door below trees, and you can see here that we have a lock here waiting to be opened. So this whole card looks so gray, and Ace of Wands is usually very red, very fiery, but this one is gray, but there is a red rose here. So you have been neglecting yourself, you have been neglecting your imagination, your hobbies, things that make you happy, things that fuel your creativity and imagination and keep you youthful and keep you being childlike. And yeah, it's like it's waiting for you to reopen it, because only in that way you can become balanced. Right now you are not balanced with the Devil card here. It's like you become a slave to work, to money, to scarcity mindset. Another interpretation is that you need to tap more into the devilish side of you, like devilish in a good way. Like maybe you and your partner have restrained intimacy, like you don't enjoy intimacy with your partner as you used to, because you are tied to your work, your job, or you are tied to a situation that no longer serves you. And instead of going after what will make you feel happy and healthy, you hang on to this thing that actually can be taken away from you anytime. But family and love, like love for yourself, for your body, for the people who love you, that is what is eternal. Let's see what this... Oh! Yeah, your shadow self wants you to resolve this issue by opening the lock with the skeleton key. So let's see what this skeleton key is actually about. Let me take a sip of drink. So pile number 2's shadow self, can you please clarify why you need the skeleton key? Like, to open, what do you need to open with the skeleton key? What do you need to open with the skeleton key? Shadow self of pile number 2. What you need to open with the skeleton key? I just split the deck and we have the 2 of Cups. So this is about relationship that you take for granted, relationship that is on a crisis, and it somehow ties with how you feel the world, how you feel work-life balance. Can you clarify, Panacea? Why do you need the skeleton key? To open what? Temperance. This is like okay, I'm going to check the name of the woods in Christopher Robin. 100 Acre Woods. Your shadow self wants you to rediscover the key to 100 Acre Woods. So this ties with your relationship, your family, your health and well-being being on the line. It's like this is an emergency situation. Like, this King of Pentacles also remind me of Scrooge in A Christmas Carol. I always forgot his first name. Ebenezer Scrooge. Yeah, Ebenezer Scrooge is so fixated on money that he never has fun, and he wants everybody to also adopt his point of view. And if you remember, Ebenezer Scrooge fell in love when he was young to someone called I forgot the name of his girlfriend, but his girlfriend say that you love money more than me. And this is that kind of situation. Your life is not balanced now. You forget what is most important. The things and people that are most important, you take those for granted. And it has caused a strain in your relationship with your kids, with your partner, with your family. It's like they don't see you enough. What is this card? Yeah, see? 5 of Wands. This conflict of interest will not be resolved unless you rediscover that childlike side of you, that side of you that is playful, that is in balance. Temperance is usually about know that everything has its time. Like there is this is it proverb or psalm? I forgot. But there is time to mourn, and there is time to laugh. There is time to harvest, and let me find that out. There is time for everything under the sun. There is time for everything, and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die. A time to plant and a time to uproot. A time to kill and a time to heal. A time to tear down and a time to build. A time to weep and a time to laugh. A time to mourn and a time to dance. What else? Next. A time to scatter stones and a time to gather them. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to search, a time to give up. A time to keep, a time to throw away. A time to tear, a time to mend. A time to be silent and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate. a time for war and a time for peace. What do workers gain from their toil? I have seen the burden God has laid on the human race. He has made everything beautiful in His time. He has also set eternity in the human heart. Yet no one can fathom what God has done from beginning to end. So the universe wants you to go with the flow. This is what the temperance is about. Go with the flow, knowing that everything has its time, everything has its schedule. For some of you, it's been a while since you live a spontaneous life. It's like, when we were young and we have less responsibilities, sometimes we just suddenly get ideas out of the blue and we just do them. And for you have established a very rigid schedule. So when your kids, say for example, if you have kids and your kids are sad and your kids ask you, Dad or Mom, I want to, can you take a day off today? Can you play with me, or can you comfort me because I am so sad today, I just had a bad day in school? And you say, oh, I can. Mom or Dad have to work, otherwise we won't have enough money. That sort of thing is the thing that is the total opposite of temperance. Temperance is knowing when you have to do something, and it's like going with the flow instead of following a strict schedule and disappointing people who need you at the time. Or maybe this is your own needs. Like sometimes you feel like you are not up to task. Like your body is tired. Maybe you think about job and you have lack of sleep. Maybe you have been working on a project, but instead of giving you time to rest, to rejuvenate, you keep on working, and you always say, I will take vacation another time, and it never happened. And this caused the 5 of Wands, the conflict with people in your life who you should pay attention to most. And this explains why your shadow self, what your shadow self love and dream the most is love. This is love for yourself and for everyone who is meaningful to you, who is dear to your heart. It can be your childhood hobby that you haven't touched for a while and which used to bring you joy. It can be some me time. It can be like, when is the last time you go to the spa to take care of yourself? When is the last time you go to the hairdresser? When is the last time you go into nature to just be, to just stay in that love? Like pile number 2, your shadow self can see that you don't believe there is enough to go around. You believe that the universe doesn't exist, that love is something that only exists in movies, that miracles is something that exists only in movies, and you believe that everything has to be achieved by blood, sweat, and tears. So clarify love. Panacea. I think love is the answer. Love is the magical key. Like in Christopher Robin, he eventually realized what matters most to him in the entire world is not his work. It's his family. It's his childhood friend. It's the people who matter for him. So clarify love, Panacea. Clarify love as something you like and something you dream of. Some of you have probably wanted to travel somewhere for a while, but it's like you always deny yourself. You deny your inner child of what they need, which is to have some fun, and your inner child becomes a shadow self. So please clarify love. Can we get a jumper card, please, Tanasia? What? Clarify love. Thank you. Queen of Swords. So Queen of Swords. The sword being my scepter. The sword I hold reminds me not to get caught in swirling emotions. It protects me from overwhelming feelings. I want to keep my ability to judge things or people without being sentimental. I care about my subjects, but you won't find me being indulgent with them for all that. If you want to sit by me, you have to show the same capacity of letting your intelligence and reason be your guides. Save your empathy or compassion for later. This is not what I want you to be focused on today. To please me, you rather must use your logic and common sense. I want you to be frank and efficient. So I think with this Queen of Swords, and by the way, when I pick up this deck from the table earlier, this card was left behind. And the bottom of the deck, after I pulled this card, is the Nine of Cups, which is the card of fulfillment, emotional fulfillment. And Queen of Swords and King of Swords is the opposite of that. They swear by logic and they ignore feelings. So you haven't been in touch with your feelings for quite some time because you try to control your world by logic. Like I said, you feel like love only exists in movies, but actually with the Ace of Wands here, and with all this red behind the Queen of Swords, you actually have a lot of passion to give, a lot of beautiful things you can create that will give you joy and happiness, but you deny yourself of all that. And your shadow self wants you to see that that the world is actually beautiful and life is supposed to be enjoyed, like this Nine of Cups here. Not to, yeah, we have Nine of Cups and Nine of Pentacles at the bottom of the deck after I shuffle these two. So you are actually already abundant, and it's a blessing from the universe. Like the Bible verse I just read says, blessing, richness, it's like a blessing from above, like something you co-create with the universe. It's like, it's not something that you create or manifest solely with your own effort. So why you are toiling, why you are putting your health and your family and your happiness on the line, just so that you can create abundance. Like abundance is a co-creation with the universe. And actually, I have proof this time and again that when I work on my channel non-stop and put videos after videos, it's like my subscriber number stays stuck. But when I let go of my channel, actually my subscriber number increased by itself. So that's what we call co-creating with the universe. We put in effort, just enough, and the universe will do the rest. Okay, so I still want to have some clarifier about love and Queen of Swords. Can you give us another card? Yes, the Chariot. And we have the black and white chess piece. So this is all about balance. Yeah, it's like, you have to know, like, in order for you to be happy, you have to know where to turn. You have to go with the flow. You have to know like when is the time for you to guess, to to gas up, and when is the time to rest, when is the time to recharge or to fill your gas tank. if a magic carpet ride can have a gas tank. And again, we have the 10 of cups at the bottom of the deck. Actually, when you take care of yourself, you can manifest more riches, you can manifest more abundance. So this is what your shadow self has been warning you about. Okay, now we are going to ask your shadow self about what they dislike, what they hate. What do you hate, Panacea? Oh, no, we don't count that. What do you hate, Panacea? What do you... Oh? Okay, Knight of Cups. I didn't expect that. You don't like Knight of Cups. But you desire love. What do you mean by this? Okay, Panacea, can you explain why you dislike Knight of Cups? Why you dislike the Knight of Cups? Disappointment. Okay. I think I just, there is another different message coming in here. I just realized that the Queen of Swords is a figure who has failed in love. And because they have failed in love, they don't want to believe in love anymore. They believe in hard truth, hard reality. But deep down inside, you still want that love. And you have it. It's like there are still people who care for you. There are still people who want to have fun with you. There are still people who want to build a family with you. But it's like you reject them all. You reject them all. You focus on work. You focus on career. You never have fun. Because you are afraid. You are afraid of losing that love again. Like maybe you were a carefree person once. But, oh, okay, so the thing that keep you stuck in this energy of not wanting to have fun and want to work all the time and kind of punishing yourself is because you have been betrayed before. I just realized that. But actually, what you desire most is love. You deny it, but you cannot lie. The passion is still there. The hope for happiness, for love is still there. But you hang on tightly to this sword, just like this girl hang on to this fragile thread. Your nerves are frayed. And yeah, this 5 of Wands, this is probably your failed relationship. What is your worst nightmare, Panacea? What is your worst nightmare? What do you fear? Panacea, what do you fear? Panacea, what do you fear? So yeah, there are different messages here. Different messages for different people. For some of you, you become a workaholic to the point you neglect people you love. For some of you, you purposefully become a workaholic so that you won't hope anymore, so that you will not be tempted to try a second chance at love anymore. What do you fear, Panacea? What do you fear? What do you fear? Panacea, what do you fear? Wow, the Tower. You are afraid that everything will fall apart. That's why you become a workaholic. That's why you become a control freak. It's like you try to control your world so that people cannot hurt your heart anymore. Your heart is actually very fragile. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Star, healing and wish fulfillment, and Knight of Wands, passion. You actually still have that passion inside you, but it's like you keep it down, you suppress it. You suppress it because you have been in love once, you have indulged in your passion once, and something bad happened. And since then, you only trust in logic and in what is tangible. You don't believe in what cannot be seen. You don't believe in love. You don't believe in imagination. You don't believe in passion. For you, that is a sure way to fail. Wow, this is new. Okay. So you are afraid of releasing control or of letting it fall down. Your shadow self wants you to let it fall down, to let go of control, and to let yourself being swept by the flow of life with the Temperance. Wow, that is deep. I'm going to take a break here, and I will be back with some oracle messages. Okay, so my phone camera warns me that I only have 11 minutes more. Like, I don't have enough storage for to record video any longer. So let's get straight into your message from the spirit guides and from your shadow self. So spirit guides of pile number 2. Spirit guides of pile number 2, what do you want pile number 2 to know? Spirit guides and shadow self of pile number 2, what is your message for pile number 2 regarding your shadow self? We have Mintakan, longing for home, belonging, the original light workers. So I believe that this is saying that you actually still have hopes that you will meet your soulmate, that you will meet your soul family. I think you are actually someone who is inspiring, someone who is actually meant for a life that is not simply about material things, but actually you can inspire people. You can make people happy with your creation. You can spread love. And yeah, that's something that you have forgotten, or maybe you are afraid to trust in love again. You are afraid to, and actually, I think you are still you still want love, because what you love and your biggest dream is love. It's like you believe that you are not worthy of love, either because of fear from past relationship that didn't work out, or because you believe that take a break, a life's work, not a season, get off the treadmill. So the more you push down your need for love, the more it becomes like a dark shadow self. So either because of fear of being burned by love again, or fear of, like, not fear but belief that love does not exist, and what is most important is logic, material, and money. And this is what your spirit guides want you to transform. It's like this is the mindset that your shadow self and the universe wants you to transform. And other messages, let's pull one from the What Offering Oracle. The clock is ticking. I only have 11 more minutes to wrap up this because my phone memory doesn't have enough storage for long videos. So, okay, so spirit guides of pile number 2 and shadow self of pile number 2. Can you give pile number 2 word of comfort, please? Word of comfort for pile number 2 from the universe, from their spirit guides, and from their shadow self. Being enough. This is the same card that show up in pile number 3. So some of you probably need to check pile number 3 as well. Because if none of the message really resonate with you, maybe the reason why you want love but also avoid love is because you have been in toxic relationship. And toxic we will talk about toxic relationship in length in pile number 3. So being enough, the innermost heart says you are enough, nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change, no one need to grow more deserving. You, yes, you are loved. So this is saying again, there is enough going around for everyone, and you don't have to chase money. You don't have to chase money. You don't have to chase success, and you don't have to close yourself off from love just because love didn't work for you in the past. Okay, because you have a soul family, and what you wants you. Your soul family also miss you. I'm going to read from the guidebook for a bit for this card later, but let's draw one last card from the fairy oracle as the action that you need to take. What action pile number 2 needs to take, please? What action pile number 2 needs to take? So universe, spirit guides, and shadow self of pile number 2, panacea. What action you want pile number 2 to take, please? Wish wisely. Use your wishes wisely to manifest your heart desire and take practical steps towards making your dreams come true. Yeah, this is saying that you can ask your spirit, you can ask the universe, God, spirit guides for what you want, but you also need to believe. You also need to believe in love, and you need to open yourself up to love. And I think this wishing wisely is like, yeah, it's the way how your shadow selves show you that you want love, but you are also afraid of the Knight of Cups. The Knight of Cups is about pursuing love. You are afraid of pursuing love. So another message for you is that to be present and to enjoy the moment, to not overwork yourself, to not chase things, but to take things in a slower way, to enjoy the present moment, and to figure out what you want from this life. So I'm going to read from the guidebook here because our time is short. Yeah, before I read from the book, the back of the deck says life energy, the happy fairy of sunshine. I think a lot of you also have not been outdoor for quite a while. Brings a lot of life-giving energy. I did say something about recharge. She reminds you to shine your light and to reveal anything in the shadow that needs to be healed. So yeah, I don't know what happened in your past, but it makes you afraid of love, but you still want love. And this love card, especially with the flowers, is saying that love is all around you, okay? Oops. Alright, Mintakan are a soul group who originate on a planet in the constellation Orion. They were the first star beings to travel to Earth and believed to be the original light workers. The Mintakan's home planet is thought to have been a water world with water so pure you could see through it for miles. For this reason, Mintakans feel most at peace and at home when in or around crystal clear water. So you may need to go to a lake or a beach to calm yourself down with this Six of Swords energy, to breathe in the fresh ocean air or something. They are here to teach us to see the potential in everything and the light in all beings. Yeah, you have been pessimistic. You have been like this Queen of Swords and this King of Pentacles. You only believe in what is seen. You only believe in logic, and you no longer trust in magic. So they want you to wish wisely. Many Mintakans have, I think some of you don't know what you wish for. It's like you wish for things that you actually don't want, like riches, but when what you actually need is love. Many Mintakans have an odd longing for home and struggle with feeling like they don't belong. Yeah, it is thought that this is due to their home planet no longer being in existence. If you pull this card, I think you have been feeling really lonely. It could mean that you are Mintakan or are longing for a sense of belonging. And root chakra healing, yeah, feeling insecure. That's why we have the King of Pentacles and the chasing for money. Okay, sorry, I just have to clear my story so that I can finish this. So, if you are longing for a sense of belonging, root chakra healing is necessary for you to feel secure and safe. So you have not been feeling safe in your life. You don't believe in love. You don't feel like there is enough to go around, and you keep chasing material stuff and neglect the love that is actually all around you, but which you don't believe, or you fail to see, or you take for granted. Perhaps you feel this longing to find home without knowing where that is. Perhaps you have been moving around a lot and yearn for a place on earth to call your own. If so, you are being called to connect with Mother Earth and create it for yourself now. To choose where you feel most at home and create it, rather than waiting for the feeling of belonging to come. Yeah, this is like you are being asked to take action to first tap into the love, the energy of the universe, to connect with your spirit guide and ask them make a wish, not for more riches, not for things that you thought you want, but actually only make you feel empty and unfulfilled, but to ask for love, to ask for abundance of love from the universe that you are lacking, that you have been avoiding because of fear and heartache from the past. So you need to believe in love again, and that's what you should wish for. And yeah, and you take action to start loving yourself, to start believing in love again, to give a chance for love. Because if you don't wish for love, and if you don't take action to learn to love yourself, to feel enough, to feel like you are loved by the universe, if you don't have that faith, then this love that actually you long for and that your shadow self said that you sorely need will never come. Okay, so that's what you pile number 2. I hope this resonates. I hope this helped. Please don't forget to check the other channels reading on your message from your higher self, inner child, divine masculine and divine feminine side. All the links are down below in the description box, so make sure you check that out. So thank you so much. I'll see you next time. Bye. Hello, my beautiful people who choose pile number 3 or who are drawn to this deer symbol right here. This is going to be a message from your shadow self about themselves, how they come about, who they actually are, what are their fears and their likes and dislikes and all that stuff. So like I said in the intro, I'm going to deliver this shadow self message in a fun question and answer session. Actually, pile number 1 turned out to be like far more serious than I expected, and also way longer. Like it was like 1 hour and a half, and I didn't expect it to be like so heavy, because I tried to make this a reading a little bit lighter than the usual pick a card reading on shadow self, but for pile number 1 it didn't turn that way. So we are going to see what your pile will be like. So if I haven't mentioned before, this is a collaborative reading with 4 amazing readers: Odessa Mall, Damselflies, Scarlet Serpentero, and Leo Guidance Time. So Odessa is doing a reading on your divine feminine side. Damselflies is doing a reading on your divine masculine side. Scarlet Serpentero is doing a reading about your higher self. And Leo Guidance Time is delivering messages from your inner child. And I will deliver message from your shadow self. So if you want to get a full picture of all the different aspects of yourself, make sure that you don't miss all the other channels video, which I will link down below in the description box and also in the comment section. So yeah, having said that, let's get straight into the reading. So I forgot if I have mentioned this before, but the symbols that I use for the pick a pile is inspired by a K-pop supergroup BTS song called Blood, Sweat and Tears, because I feel like the lyric of that song perfectly fits the topic that we are going to talk about today. Okay, so I will link the song as well in the description box so you can read the lyric and maybe get some messages from it about your shadow self. So the first question I ask to your shadow self is, what is your name? So like I said, I'm trying to make this like a fun Q&A chit chat session in which your shadow self is the guest star. So what is your shadow self name, or how they see themselves as? Who are they? So we have number 29, Samadhi, perfect acceptance. Okay. The second question I ask your shadow self is, where are they from? Like usually if we interview people in entertainment world on TV, ask where they come from, and in this case it means how your shadow self come about, where they originate, and their answer is changes. So they come from changes in their life, and I can see that they are born from extreme changes in your life, because we have this girl with ribbon that has a skull in it, and skull usually symbolize death, and death, when it comes to cartomancy, when it comes to tarot and oracle reading, often means death and rebirth. So it's a transformation, a complete change. I want to say turnover, but I don't know if that is the right word. So the third question I ask your shadow self is, what do you need? So this is like me playing the role of shop attendant, and your shadow self come, and I ask them, what can I how can I help you? What do you need? And their answer is the witch bottle. Oh, okay, this is kind of heavy. So pile number 1 was heavier than I expected. Let's see how your pile goes. The next question I asked your shadow self is, what do you love? And we have confidence. To me, this looks like freedom as well. And I don't know why, but I remember a song by BTS member Jin, his solo song. It's called Awake, and there was a lyric there that said, maybe I can never fly. Maybe I can never fly, but I still want to run some more, or something like that. I will link the video down below, the music video as well as the lyrics, so you can check it out yourself. But yeah, your shadow self they want to feel more confident about themselves. They want to feel good about themselves. Interesting. So anyway, not the last, but the fifth question I ask your shadow self is, what is your dream? What what is your desire, what you want to manifest, what you wish, what your shadow self wish you can manifest for them. Oh, and we have patience, and again we have this flying theme. So let me check the lyric to the song Awake by BTS Jin, because I feel like I need to share that part of the lyric to you as part of this message. I think I will read you the lyrics, because I don't know, but I believe that this song has a message that resonates with what your shadow self is trying to say here. It's not that I'm believing in it, I'm just trying to endure it. And we have patience, so that is interesting. Endure. Because this is all that I can do. And that is perfect acceptance, right? That is perfect acceptance. I want to stay, I want to dream more. Dream more. But even so, it's time to leave. Yes, it's my truth. It's my truth. I would be covered in cuts and bruises. But it's my fate. It's my fate. Wow, wow, this cut so deep. The lyric said, I'll be covered in cuts and bruises. And you look at this. This is someone who is drowning in all these branches with maybe sharp thorns, and we know that roses have thorns. So this the words "I'd be covered in cuts and bruises" feel so much like this, and then it's followed by "It's my fate" and "It's perfect acceptance." Wow, this is so amazing. Okay, but I still want to struggle. So it means Jin said he still wants to fight, even though his situation is difficult. So he tried to accept his situation. He tried to accept the limitation imposed on him by the outside world and the limitation he imposed on himself. But he still wants to fight. He still wants to fly. So the next lyric, the refrain is, maybe I can never fly like those flower petals over there. As if I have wings, I can't do so. Maybe I can touch the sky, but I still want to reach my hand. I want to try running just a little more. That's confidence. So this talk about someone who feel like they are nothing, who feel like they cannot do anything about the situation they are in, but they still have some fight left in them. And they don't know whether they can make it, but they still want to try. That's why you feel drawn to the symbol tears. Oh my God. I'm just walking and walking in this darkness. My happy times ask me, are you really okay? Oh no. I answered, no, I'm so scared. But holding 6 flowers tightly in my hand, 6 flowers symbolize the 6 other BTS members. I'm only walking. I said, oh no, but it's my fate. I still want to struggle. Maybe I can never fly. Like those flower petals over there, as if I have wings, I can't do so. Maybe I can't touch the sky, but I still want to reach my hand. I want to try running just a little bit more. Wide awake, wide awake, wide awake. Don't cry. Wow, and we have cry. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Okay, so let me take this in. So your shadow self is, this is the part of you that has been hurt by circumstances. Maybe and we have change as the origin, as how your shadow self is born. Is born from change, and it's likely that it is an unpleasant change. It's like a drastic change from where you have been. Maybe something happened in your life that force you out of your comfort zone, because we have the school, and like I said, school is about death and rebirth, transformation, and transformation is hardly convenient. Transformation is not glorious. It is full of cuts and bruises, as the song have said. And your shadow self is the part that keep all the hurts within themselves. So everything that happened outside your control, or everything that happened within you, all the conflicts, all the hurt, all the sadness, all the heartaches and heartbreaks that you experience from this radical change, you store it away. Like you don't say anything about it because you just endure it. You think that you cannot change your fate, so you kind of stay quiet, accept what comes your way, whatever comes your way, however painful it is, and keep all those anger and sadness and maybe hatred within you, and it becomes your shadow self. It's like you just take it all in, all the negative experience in, and it becomes your shadow self. Whew. And this witch battle, I want to read from the guidebook about this one. Witch battle is what you need from, like I said, I play the role of an interviewer and maybe a shopkeeper, and your shadow self is the guest star or the customer. So what they need is a witch bottle. Let's see what witch bottle is. What you need is some magic, and maybe karma. Karma for people who have hurt you. Karma for people who have abused you, maybe. Who have looked down on you. Who have bullied you, maybe. Okay, the witch bottle is a very old spell device with great power, filled with sharp items, and then sealed and buried under the fireplace, the floor, plaster inside the walls, It serves as a trap for negative energy that may be directed at you. Yes. So maybe you, maybe you have experienced bullying, cyberbullying, or real life bullying, and it's like you need something, a magic potion, to protect yourself against such dark energy. Maybe quite a few of you may be a target for evil eyes. It's like people send you evil eyes, and you need protection from those. Okay, this is just the history of the witch battle. The witch battle appears most often during a reading when you are feeling threatened by someone or something and are either consciously or subconsciously seeking protection. Oh wow. The danger is in fact real, so this might be a good time to make a real witch battle for your safety. If you cannot physically make one, then envision one in your mind and set that protection in place. Wow. So yeah, some of you probably are really targets of evil eyes. So if that's what you, if like you experience like very unfortunate events lately, like things that supposed to go well suddenly go wrong, and you feel physical pain or anything, like you feel physical symptoms as if somebody is trying to, to trap you in bushes of thorns, then maybe you should seek psychic help or ask for prayers of deliverance from evil energies, okay? Alright, so I'm going to see what this, I'm going to read the guidebook for changes now. I think you are actually a very, you love peace, pile number 3. You love peace. And for some reason, you become the target of all this bullying. Maybe because you never retaliate. So, you know how kids, when they get bullied in school and they never retaliate, their schoolmates will think that they are an easy target. So they keep bullying them. And you store all of them inside because you don't like conflict. Actually, you hate conflict. You just want to run away. You just want to fly. You want to rise above them all, but you can't. And the anger and the feeling of unfairness and all the hurt, it fester within you. So let me see changes. Maybe some of you relocate to different location literally, and you have to adjust to a different culture, and this culture is probably the opposite of the life that you are used to, and you have a hard time adapting to it. Yeah, it may be new job, new place, new city, and you just feel like you don't belong there, like you are out of place and people don't like you. So let's dig deeper. Change. I hope I can make this quicker than pile number 1. As we change, we also grow. The only constant is change. Even as you read these words, the universe continues its motion. Time passes. We age. Life cycles spin. We can't change what has already happened, but can only move on and learn from what has happened. Accept it and don't fight. Every one of us experience these changes if we are lucky. Okay, consider the alternative and remember life is short. Try not to dwell in its bad moments and do appreciate all the good. Oh shit. So I think if your shadow self comes from change, and according to this book, change means like you adapt, you accept the radical change, and you try not to fight. But it's like your shadow self resists, and that's why it becomes shadow self. It's like your shadow self want to lash out. Perhaps you are being treated unfairly somehow. It's like you move to a different location or a different job, and people there are not very kind to you. But because maybe there are some people who told you, or maybe you told yourself based on your own belief, that you should just swallow it. You just swallow the bitter pill and try to adjust and adapt. And it's true that when we are in a very difficult situation, we learn how to fight within that circumstances. So say you work in an office where there are office politics, and you always get the short end of the stick, and then you learn, instead of accepting your fate, you learn how to play within the rules to survive there and to thrive there. So that is also like the message. It's like your part of your shadow self like wants to fight. So these circumstances is like, it's almost like your shadow self wants you to fight back against people who treat you unfairly, but in a strategic way. It's like you You accept first. You learn from the situation first, and then you fight back. Because after you learn the situation, that's what transformation is. Transformation means you accept the unpleasant things, learn from it, and use the lesson to make yourself stronger, to make yourself more formidable in that circumstances. That's why your shadow self wants you to be more confident. It's like they want you to become your own savior, to save yourself. They want you to learn to make this witch bottle of protection for yourself. Yes, I think your shadow self also long for someone who will take them away, or who will not take them, but you. Your shadow self wants someone who will take care of you, protect you, take you away from all these situations. But the thing is that sometimes life doesn't happen that way. Like, it's rarely a Disney movie. So you have to wear this suffering like a badge of honor and you learn from it, but not to be passive, not to just stay passive and quiet and become passive aggressive. I think your shadow self is being passive aggressive. It's like they don't want you to just accept the situation and that's it, you don't fight back. They want you to learn from it and to find a way to fight back within the rules where you are in, something like that. So let's read the guidebook on this Samadhi card. And I still have a few questions to ask your shadow self, actually. Okay, number 29, Samadhi. Okay, Samadhi, perfect acceptance. The girl of Samadhi is not distracted by the sharp thorns, nor the beauty of the flowers and pearls of life as they cluster around her. She is tranquil and deeply merged with the essence of oneness and acceptance. Samadhi teaches that when you give up being a perfectionist, life is suddenly perfect. Consider that your life in this moment is purely a reflection of your consciousness. Everything is exactly the same as it was yesterday. It is your attitude that has shifted. And this is for better or for worse. For what you resist tends to persist. However, with Samadhi, there is no better and no worse. Everything is. It is a beautiful place to be. Allow yourself this kindness in this moment and embrace Samadhi. Everything will find its place around you in the inevitable present moment. Accept everyone and everything and every situation as being exactly as it is meant to be now. So, because we are talking about shadow self instead of a message from the universe, I think that this card actually, to me, in this context, it's different from the meaning in the book. It's more like you take in your situation. Yes, you pull back, see the big picture, find a strategy to get around difficult situation or to confront the situation, confronting people who are against you by using their own rules. You know, this saying, keep your friends close but your enemies closer. Yeah, something like that. It's what your shadow self wants you to do. Okay, so let's clarify some of this card with tarot, and then we will ask some more question about your shadow self with some lighter question because this is quite heavy, and we will use tarot for this. So shadow self of pile number 3, Samadhi. I'm going to call them by name. Samadhi, please clarify what your name means here, what perfect acceptance means. Samadhi, please clarify what your name means, what perfect acceptance means in this situation. To me, it's as if your shadow self say, I have no choice. I have no choice, like things just happen to me. Especially if you become the end target of some evil eye by some people. It's like you just exist and people just being mean to you. So, Samadhi, can you clarify what do you mean by perfect acceptance? So, pile number 3 shadow self, Samadhi, can you clarify what do you mean by perfect acceptance? The Empress. Let me draw another clarifier. At the bottom of the deck, we have the Knight of Wands. And this is something that you don't see about the situation. And the Nine of Pentacles. Nine of Pentacles is sort of the Empress, the minor arcana version of the Empress. Well, actually, I think your shadow self does say that you, that they try to see the positive in a situation, in your situation. Okay. It's like your shadow self, Samadhi, they try to make the best of the situation you are in. So if anyone bully you, if anyone pick fights with you or something, you try to dwell on the positive. It's like you build a protective bubble around yourself. Yeah, and we have a circle here. But can you clarify the Empress and perfect acceptance? Samadhi shadow. Oh, interesting. This card come up in pile number 1, and it's also in a negative position of sort. This is like you try to be the higher person. The Empress is not caring what people say and minding your own business, taking care of yourself as best as you can. I'm trying to figure out what the King of Wands means here. Let's draw a clarifier to a clarifier. So, what is this King of Wands? Please clarify. King of Wands, the Devil. Yeah, this is probably someone who is domineering you. Or this may be your anger. It's like you are calm on the outside, but inside, you just want to... Oh, but we have the Devil and the Emperor. Wow. So this is a someone who is like a dictator. Maybe this is your boss. I don't know. Maybe this is someone who is jealous of you at work, and even though they are in a higher position than you, they kind of being bossy with you, and it's like they are just being toxic. This can also mean a toxic and very strict, very utilitarian work environment. Yeah. So it's like maybe it's a boss who push you to meet the target. Instead of working together with you, it's like they feel like they have the right to order you to do anything. And with the Empress here, this is like your shadow self begging you to take care of yourself in these circumstances, in these difficult circumstances. The Empress is higher than the King of Wands. So your shadow self wants you to play the role of the Empress, like taking care of yourself and try your best to maneuver in this situation in order to protect yourself. Okay? So please clarify the Empress. Judgment. Yeah, you are so much more valuable than what these people make you think. So maybe some of you believe or you feel like these people try to make you small, try to enslave you, but you are divinely protected. And your shadow self wants you to know that. Your shadow self wants you to know that you are the Empress. And as the Empress, you are higher than the kings and the queens in tarot. And you should embody that. That's why your shadow self likes confidence. It's like if you are confident in yourself, you won't be easily hurt, or you won't be easily bullied or easily manipulated by this devil and emperor energy. Okay, so let's try to clarify change. Please clarify change. The Fool, yeah. Your shadow self wants you to not let yourself be they don't want you to be passive, to stay quiet when you are bullied. No, it's not like that. It's more like you don't let the bulliers get in under your skin. And they want you to step into your power. Yes. They want you to step into your power and become like this full energy and follow your intuition and do what you feel is right. Do what is good for you. Do what is happy. Focus on the happier things. Another message that comes in is that your shadow self wants you to have confidence to leave this situation. So if you are in a toxic work environment where your boss bully you, where there are a lot of office politics, where everything is so strict and so limiting, like the Emperor and the Fool are two very different energies. Your shadow self wants you to quit this toxic situation. And we have the King of Wands here is actually a vampire. And you know what vampire does. They suck blood. They suck life energy from living beings. So they want you to get out of this vampiric energy to fulfill your call with the Judgment here. Your call, your life purpose is to become an Empress because you have so much power. You have so much power and you can adapt to any situation. So some of you here probably stay in a toxic situation because you don't believe in yourself. You don't believe that you can live a happy life on your own without having to depend on anything or anyone. And that's what your shadow self wants you to know. They want you to accept the truth. Perfect acceptance means to see things as they are. And if it's bad for you, like, get away from it. And if you, for some reason, you cannot get away from this situation, don't let these people get into you. Let the toxic people phase you, okay? Or you don't let them make you feel smaller than you are. You are this Empress. So if these people try to put you down, try to make you feel small, you have to do the opposite. You have to feel like this empress, confident in yourself. And when you do that routinely, like when you believe in your divinity, when you believe in your power, you will become more and more confident. And when you are confident, your courage grow, and you can like tear these thorns, plants apart. I think the reason that you are being bullied is because you believe what they say about you. You believe what these people say about you, and you behave like they expect you to. It's like you always follow what they said because you feel like they are in a higher position and I am nothing. I have no value. And your shadow self wants you to see yourself as you are and what your situation is, and to step into your power to manipulate the situation for your own good. Like not bad manipulation, but manipulate the situation, like working within the situation to make you feel better. Like I said, facing your enemies using their own strategies. And to not be ashamed of yourself, or not freeing yourself from the limitation people impose on you verbally or non-verbally. Don't think of yourself as less than, okay? What is this witch bottle? Clarify the witch bottle. The Knight of Swords. You are protected. Your spirit guides is beside you with this white wolf. And this is you surrendering to your spirit guides and getting advice from them to protect yourself. I don't know, this looks to me like a Game of Thrones, like a scene from the Game of Thrones. And yeah, they have wolves there, right? Yeah, they have wolves. I think I never watch it because it's gory, but Game of Thrones is all about that, about like a power struggle. And because this is protection and we have the white wolf, this is purity, this is honesty. And this is saying that Knight of Swords may be like, they are crude in their words, they are blunt, but they are honest. So what I'm saying is that if you are around toxic people who manipulate people left and right, who like do ass kissing and stuff, you remain in your integrity. Like don't play their games. Instead, you stand steadfast in what you believe in who you are. Feel confident about who you are, and always say the truth, because people with integrity, people who are pure, people who are honest and fair, they will always be protected by the universe. So that's your protection there. And if you know, your shadow self wants you to know that you are more protected than you ever thought, and that this whole situation is kind of the universe way for you to grow some backbones, to stand for what you believe in, to keep your integrity, even though people around you play dirty. You keep your integrity and you speak your truth. Speak your truth. Like whenever people try to bring you down, you speak the truth. And people who speak the truth, they will never get into a mess, okay? People who lies, they will be trapped by their own lies someday. But people who speak the truth, who stand by the truth, who do things that are honest and fair, they will always be blessed. And again, your shadow self wants you to take care of yourself and don't let these people bully you into their beck and call, okay? But again, doing that with strategic manner, like don't stoop to their level, to this petty people's level, but use their strategy to kind of get back at them. I don't know how to say this, but it's like, yeah, it's office politics. I realize that I mainly talk about office politics here, but it seems like for a lot of you, maybe half of you, this is about work. So confidence. Oh, I don't need to. I want to clarify patience. So patience here is your shadow self dream. Oh, okay, samadhi, shadow self of parliamentary. Why your dream is patience? Clarify the patience. Why your dream is patient? I think your shadow self. I think there is something that you are working on actually, or your shadow self wants you to expand your wings and fly. Your shadow self wants you to dream bigger and to manifest that dream gradually over time with patience, with solid foundation, building up a solid foundation for yourself so you can fly. Okay, so shadow self of parliamentary samadhi, can you clarify why your dream is patient? Why your dream is patient? Wow, the Two of Wands. This is what comes up in pile number 1 as well. Two of Wands. Can we get another clarifier for patience, please? Shadow self of parliamentary. Can we get another clarifier for patience? Why is it your dream? Why is it your dream? Why patience is your dream? The High Priestess. Yeah, your shadow self wants you to trust in the divine and choose a plan, choose a way that will be good for you. Wait, let me check out the guidebook for this Two of Wands. I want to know the context of this one. Two of Wands. Two of Wands. What is it? Okay. Through my clairvoyance. Interesting. This school is like my crystal ball. It provides me all the information I need and helps me teach my goals. I am questioning it for you. Its answer is that you have to develop a plan. Oh my fucking God. I'm sorry, God. Didn't I say a plan? Escape plan from this toxic situation. So your shadow self wants you to hang in there and take care of yourself. Don't let your enemies get into you, but instead quietly develop an escape plan. Escape plan. A detailed, efficient, appropriate plan. Oh shit. Don't be spineless or timorous. Didn't I say something about growing a backbone? This situation is not to punish you, but it's like a boot camp. It's like the universe wants you to learn from this toxic situation so that you can, it's like they want you to take it all in and to see it like not as a victim. Yeah, it's like your shadow self wants you to stop playing the victim, and instead and also they don't want you to like rebel recklessly against those in authority. They want you to be strategic. They want you to fight from within. This is like a boot camp to train you to be confident in yourself, to be brave, to know how to be strategic in a difficult situation, how to face different kind of toxic people, how to develop a strategy to face different kind of toxic people. And again, this is a symbol of protection, divine protection, mystery. You are co-creating, you are co-creating with the universe for this escape plan. So your shadow self wants you to develop an escape plan, to hang in there, not to let your enemies get into you or reduce you into this small person like they want you to be, but to step into your power, to fight with strategy, to keep your honesty and integrity, and to co-create with the universe, to take off, to rise above your enemies. Wow. Dare to explore and try new experiences. Yeah, try new strategies. Like if, for example, if before you always quiet when you are bullied because you believe that you don't have anything to say, to tell them. Now you know, now you are expected to learn how to reply to your enemies in a calm, cold, but effective manner. You've walked a long road already, but there is still work to do, and things must be considered with a long-term approach in mind. Choose audacity over timidity. Yeah, again, backbone thing. Long-term approach in mind. So they want you to think of a way to escape that will really take you from this energy and you don't have to come back there again. So think carefully. Don't fear stormy clouds. If you are well prepared, clouds won't stop you from expanding your horizon. Don't fear stormy clouds. Stormy clouds is like high priestess energy. It's like everything is uncertain, but they want you to have faith that the universe has big plans for you, that the universe wants you to become this bird. Even though things are uncertain right now, it doesn't mean that the universe sides with your enemies. It only means that the universe wants you to learn how to navigate this difficult situation, and at the same time they want you to ask them for help. They want you to co-create with them, to create this opportunity from which you can escape and come into your own power. Yeah. All right, so let's ask. Oh, my battery is low, so hang on. Okay, I'm back, and we are going to move this a little bit. So I will ask your shadow self 2 more questions. So actually this is unnecessary because we have a lot of messages already, and I don't want this reading to be like more like 1.5 hour long, but it looks like it's going to be another long reading. I cannot help it, sorry. So yeah, but I will try to go as fast as I can. So let's ask your shadow self what they dislike and what they fear. So first, what they dislike. What they dislike. Okay, Samadhi. What you dislike, Samadhi? Pile number 3, shadow self. What do you dislike? Four of Pentacles, staying in your comfort zone. Like, yes, your shadow self wants protection with this witch bottle, but they don't want to stay within a protective bubble, but not staying small. Yeah, did I say something about staying small? Like, you feel like the world is an evil place, And so you shrunk into yourself. You keep yourself small. You don't want to it's like they don't want you to be miserable alone, to play victim and say, oh, poor me, and just stay at home, never go out, never live your life. They want you to create your own opportunity to get out of this. I know that I'm a little bit all over the place here. Again, English is not my first language, so I apologize if it's unclear. But yeah, your shadow self doesn't want you to keep yourself small. You are so much more than this King of Wands, Devil, and Emperor energy make you seem to be. You are powerful. You can create great things. You have so many talents. And if you can learn in this boot camp learn all the, it's like playing chess, you know. You have to be able to read your opponent's moves, learn from them, and counterattack. Yeah, counterattack. And not staying here in your comfortable bubble. Or for some of you, if this is about you having this attitude of better the devil you know than the devil you don't, your shadow self wants you to throw that beliefs away. They want you to believe that there is a much better place for you somewhere out there, and that you can make it happen if you co-create with your spirit guides, with the universe, with your ancestor, whatever, with God. They don't want you to be hopeless and to say, okay, this is my fate, like Jin's Awake song. And actually, I want to tell you a little bit about Jin. In the early days, it's like a lot of fans consider him as not very good at dancing as others, that his voice is not as powerful as, say, Jungkook or anybody else. And yeah, there are a lot of fans who think like that, because I'm trying to be very objective about this, and I think it's because Jin never, he hasn't found himself at that time. He wasn't confident, and that was reflected in his song Awake. He said, I may not be able to touch the sky, I may never fly, but I want to run some more. He doesn't give up. And look at him now. Look at him now, like he collaborate with Coldplay. Like he is basically best friends with the band Coldplay now, and they make a song together, and the song becomes his hit single, and he shines everywhere he goes. He went to the military and he become an assistant trainer, and like in group songs, he's like previously he was relegated to the back in group songs. It's like he got either no lines or like a minimum of 2 or 3 lines, but now he is like getting more lines, getting more screen time, and he has a lot of other achievements outside the group. He has grown wings, he has flown, he has fly. So yeah. Okay, next question I want to ask your shadow self is, what is it? Okay, Samadhi, what do you fear? What is your greatest nightmare? What do you fear, Samadhi? What is your greatest nightmare? What triggers you? What is your greatest nightmare? Ooh. 5 of Pentacles. Victim mentality. Again, your shadow self wants to let you know that you have to step into, and I just want to mention, because we are talking about shadow self, this is why the Empress in this card is colored gray and not like in bright colors like in the Rider-Waite-Smith tarot or other tarot, most tarot decks. This is because your shadow self wants you to thrive and to play by your own rules and to take back control over your own life in difficult circumstances instead of residing in this 4 and 5 of Pentacles energy. See? You are afraid to, you have wings here. See? You have wings. These dark wings. But you are too afraid to fly because these people put you down and you believe them. And that is your shadow self greatest nightmare. That's what so I think you have been feeling really torn apart for a long time because your shadow self wants you to grow some backbones. Actually, your shadow self is the part of you that wants you free. It's like your inner child, but because you kind of turn them down, and instead you stay in this situation and not making efforts to change your fate, it's like your shadow self becomes shadow self, you know. They stay in the dark and they make you angry most of the time. They make you feel conflicted, and they want you to accept the fact that your situation sucks and that you have to do something about it. And the bottom of the deck is the Star. Wish come true, divine providence. Again, the High Priestess. The devil you know are not always better than the devil you don't. So if you have been in this toxic work situation and you are too afraid to get out of there, feeling like you will never get a better job somewhere else, it's time for you to change that perception. Okay? So let's get into the messages. Finally, finally this reading comes to an end. Anyway, I'm going to link Jin's Awake song in the description box below for you. Maybe I should write it down in case I forget. Bow 3 Awake. Okay, this time I'm going to ask your spirit guides for advice on, or maybe I'm going to ask both your shadow self and your spirit guides on what you need to hear. Okay, so universe, God, spirit guides of pile number 3 and pile number 3 shadow self, what is your collective message for pile number 3? What pile number 3 needs to hear right now? What pile number 3 needs to hear? What pile number 3 needs to hear? What pile number 3 needs to hear? We have confidence again. I cannot believe it. And perfectionism. Permission to make mistakes is so freeing. It's the root of creativity and change. Allow me, divine, to make as many mistakes as I need. Free me from the prison of perfectionism. Yeah, this is the prison of perfectionism. You are so afraid that you will mess things up that you just nod and say yes, even though your heart, your intuition say no. Like if people ask you to do something, you don't believe in yourself because you are this type A kind of people. You have no confidence in yourself and you are afraid of making mistakes, and as a result, you don't grow. And perfectionism is also like afraid of failure. Afraid that if you take risks, if you take a leap of faith, you will end up somewhere worse. And that's what I said about coming out of your comfort zone and growing some backbone and try to fly, try to leave this toxic situation. Confidence. Divine confidence is completely different from the bravado or the ego. So the ego is being angry for the sake of retaliating, not because you want to stand by your truth or because you won't accept negative treatments. Okay, it's like bravado or ego is like the 5 of swords. just arguing for the sake of winning, not because things are unfair, not because people cross your boundaries. Okay, you make space for something larger to take hold. Please fill me with your confidence or love. Grant me courage I never know I had. Yeah, love. So if you love yourself, if you believe, if you can see the good qualities in yourself, so that's what your shadow self wants you to see. They want you to see good qualities within yourself. And messing up, it's okay. Like sometimes when we make a mess, it actually it actually can turn into something good. Making mistakes will let you know what strategy is working and what is not. Okay, so if you have tried defending yourself by acting passive aggressively or maybe aggressively and it doesn't work, then you need to find another strategy, but never let that make you think that you are a failure. Okay, so I don't know if there is any, because those cards don't flip out. I just want another card to flip out. So message from your shadow self and the universe for pile number 3. Message from your shadow self and from the universe, please. Oh, we got the jumper. Yeah, being enough. The innermost heart says you are enough, nowhere to go, nothing to get, nothing to change, no need to grow more deserving. You, yes, you are loved. This is not saying you don't have to do anything or you don't have to move somewhere better. No, it means that you don't have to please people. You don't have to be a people pleaser. You don't need anybody to succeed. Because in the eyes of the universe, you are enough. You don't have to prove to the universe by becoming a saint or anything. Like, it's okay to give in and to be angry when it's needed. It's not going to make the universe love you any less, okay? Because those anger are needed for your shadow self not to be drowned in this negativity that you absorb from other people. Okay, let's get you 2 more oracle cards and we are done. Okay, universe, God, and spirit guides of pile number 3 and pile number 3's shadow self. Message for pile number 3 needs to hear. Message pile number 3 needs to hear. Message pile number 3 needs to hear. What do they need to hear, please? What does pile number 3 need to hear the most? Priestess, how are you being called to step up and lead? Yeah. You are a natural born leader, but you don't realize that. You thought that you are fated to become somebody else's doormat, this 5 of Pentacles. And this is what your shadow self fear. They fear that you never realize how powerful you actually are and that you can be firm and you can lead and you can teach if you know how much wisdom you have. Last but not least, course of action, your shadow self. Oops. Course of action, your spirit guides and your shadow self wants you to take. Course of action. magical blessing. Whatever you are going through, you are being assisted by a magical fairy blessing. The fairy says you can bless others too. So again, I think all this experience is to turn you into some kind of a powerful leader. Leaders who who inspire people, not by being authoritarian, not by being domineering, not by bullying others, but by wisdom. And this is to assure you that you have more allies in the spiritual world than you know. And the reason you are going through this is not just to turn you into a powerful and wise leader, so that you will know what is the what are the wrong things to do and what are the right things to do, but so you can inspire and comfort people who go through the same difficulties as you did. Okay, so your blood, sweat, and tears are not in vain. So that's for you, pile number 3. I hope this message resonates. I'm sorry that it's so long, but I think all these messages have to come out. So I hope this helped, and don't forget to check the other beautiful readers reading about message from your higher self, inner child, divine feminine, and divine masculine. You can check the links below. So thank you so much, and I'll see you next time. Bye.